Hello everyone, this is Angela and welcome to my channel, Angie the ENTJ. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so that you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Okay, so I am going to do my best to make this video brief. So let me dive into it, and I apologize in advance for my voice quality. It's my allergies, okay? So basically, here we are. I have an announcement to make you all, and it is simply this. I am the quote unquote they. I'm the they. I am the quote unquote them. You know, they and them. I am the them in this scenario. So what's going on and what happened and why? Why am I saying this? Okay. A few days ago, I was watching a video on Taz exclusive The Goat's channel regarding Princella Clark's collaboration with Sister George and Concrete of The Breakdown, A Woman's Perspective, which is also another platform. And watching that, oh my God, it set off alarms within me, due in part to how Princella Clark responded to what I perceived to be reasonable questions. Add to it that she appeared to rage quit off of the panel.
When you also make the shorts, and I think some of this is mocking, and you'll tell men like, yeah, because I get more hoes than you, and this, that, and the other. It's kind of like what the type of language that we are used to men. Ways we're used to men expressing themselves.
Y'all don't understand. Y'all really don't understand the art of the occult. I'm a master at what I do. What I'm supposed to do, sit up here and go back and forth and explain myself to niggas that I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a damn about their opinion, right? Oh, okay. So if you're gonna accuse me of something, I'm not gonna defend myself. That's right, you mad. You say I run a lesbian cult. My women love the pimping that I'm doing.
So what's the big deal? Okay. Between all of these platforms, Taz, people that often watch Taz are also fans of his wife Nyla, as well as The Breakdown, A Woman's Perspective. There are potentially thousands of people who believe that there is some invisible hand agenda at work because of this.
Y'all better hope this woman ain't part of no bigger fucking agenda. Pansexual? Since they have sex in all combinations and do not seem to have an exclusive orientation. So again, he's been writing about these bonobos and sexual orientation and who they have sex with and all this shit for years, right? Now, her transitioning them into black women is fucking crazy to me. That she's using bonobos to take them into, you know, stuff about black women. And so, like I say, this is the primatologist that she keeps quoting, but understand he's with a dude. You know what I'm saying? And most of his work seems to be centered around putting a gender identity on these animals. Crazy. Let's go.
So, given the escalation of the matter, I decided to come through in an attempt to clear the air. I am the one who introduced the concept that Princella Clark, let's just say, borrowed. And that is using nature as a guide to understand the fundamentals of abstract issues within this particular segment of social media. I don't know her, and she does not know me. And I am not dragging her. This situation is bigger than she is. What I'm doing is clearing up the confusion that she has caused as a result of borrowing my concepts without giving credit to the source. It's apparent that she placed an agenda to this concept, and it's also apparent that it has backfired on her. The reason that it has backfired is because although my concepts appear to be simple on the surface, What most will not realize is that I have backed it up with a multi-layered and interdisciplinary approach using empirical data, which is why I said just give credit if you use my concepts. And that didn't happen. Because had the credit been given, then people would have had the ability to understand it from a different angle. So the reason why I condensed it in the first place was simple. It was just to spare the average viewer of my videos from one of my intense nerdgasms, as well as to make the topics relatable to the non-nerd majority. And for those who don't know the definition of a nerdgasm, by the way, according to Collins Dictionary, it is a feeling of intense excitement felt by someone considered to be a nerd, someone like me, especially when caused by something relating to his or her leisure interests, such as a new piece of technology, a computer game, science fiction, film, etc. I think I'm more on the etc. side of things. And you know what? I think I just had a nerdgasm reading that definition. So, okay, back to the topic. So I have videos on this topic that are nearly a year old as proof of my claim that I am the original person who brought the comparison of abstract situations, both in nature and humanity, into this niche of social media, along with delving into how that process works and how it appears. The reason why I'm speaking out about it now is because I have major concerns about how this concept is currently being used and the potential harm that its misuse may cause. And why had I not said anything earlier? Well, it's simple. One reason is that I attempted personally to mimic the silent genius of nature by allowing others to see things for themselves and in their own way, in their own time, and to discover how nature is their own ally. And as far as those who have agendas, hey, I know that the easiest way to prove someone wrong is simply by allowing them to have their own way, so that when they trip up and stumble, they will be correcting themselves as opposed to me chasing after them and correcting them. I also know that experience is the best teacher. Once I saw that the true intention of my concepts could be lost, and worse, that through its misuse could cause harm, that's when I decided to make this video. My goal in presenting the concept of walking the audience through detailed natural observations was to give people an opportunity to see the truth involving abstracts without human influence or interference, and also in a simplified manner. This includes observing animals as well as things that are inanimate. It was never intended to be used as a grift or a gimmick to turn unsuspecting people into suckers. The reason why I felt the need to give people a concrete way to observe abstracts without human interference was because I personally have witnessed so many regular and everyday people who wish to live a good and honest life, who have good intentions, and how they've been exploited and abused by others who saw them as nothing more as a means to acquire shiny new objects. It is very understandable that such a person will have a difficult time being vulnerable yet again to another person like me toting around another idea about something else as far as they can see. So being sensitive to this, I decided to approach different talking points from a natural perspective. Not from my opinion, not from my thoughts or anyone else's, but basically, how does this, whatever it is, let's say monogamy or polygamy or masculinity or femininity, how does it actually appear in the wild? What is it that we see? What is it that we're not considering, for instance, when we look at ourselves through this lens? Understanding the process that I've provided of understanding abstracts using nature does not require you to buy any books, any memberships, any merch, or anything. One video in particular that I created involved how femininity and masculinity appeared in animals beyond their appearance and their body parts. It delved into their behavior, okay, along with anatomical reasons why each gender behaves the way that it does on a level that many can overlook, or also on a way that many don't understand what to look for. The reason why I did this video is because we were at the time, and we still are, in my humble opinion, in the midst of conversations that are wondering something as what is a woman? Although every single last one of us walking around had to come through one in order to exist. And people are also identifying as animals, yet they are not demonstrating innate species typical behaviors, such as people who are identifying as a dog are not eating their own, let's just say, number two, but they're sniffing around and barking. So we are living in a time where parents are not able to tell their own children basic truths about their bodies without fear of facing a backlash. Yet they're the ones who are paying. They're waking up early in the morning, working long hours, coming back late at night. They are the ones who are paying to raise the children who are being influenced into transitioning. The parents are also the ones who are often stuck with planning and paying for their children's funerals when they perish due to the consequences that can be associated with transitioning. I do not have any ill will against the trans community or any other protected communities. However, I am a fair person. It is unfair that someone can influence another person's child into having irreversible surgeries that have side effects so severe that some transitioners take their own lives. And this leaves their grieving parents in the aftermath of it all, which includes burdening them with funeral costs to pay. So many parents are at a loss of how to empower their children with the truth without offending others. This is part, not the entire, but part of the reason for my content. My content is not, nor was it ever intended to be, a grift. I also have a disclaimer in my videos that I do not require you to be like me. This is not a scheme to funnel you into what I do. You do what you do and I do what I do. We over here, we're all, well, most of us, majority of us are adults, and we're just having reasonable conversation over here as adults. I feel that the reason Princella Clark borrowed the concept from my content was because it was evident that she saw how nature fully accepted her non-heterosexual self, just as she is, when she witnessed the bonobos and how they interacted with one another. This acceptance through nature was a bonus that I want others to genuinely experience. And I'm glad that she, Princella Clark, has experienced it. It's evident that she has. She saw female-to-female intimate interaction in a scenario that was not involving or influenced by humans in the abstract form. So she also saw that nature does not admonish it the way that maybe she had been personally scolded by others. I can see how for her it was a liberating experience. And that, what it appears that she's enjoyed, is an experience that I wish for everyone to have in their own way. And that was the goal. However, it's evident that Princella placed an agenda to this, and because she did not understand that there was more to it than what I presented, she began to hit obstacles.
The greater thing she can do, but she can do it on social media because you get it, you have the opportunity to cut it off whenever you want to. So she can stop talking to them at any time. She probably regret this shit. Yeah, she probably regret this.
Yeah, she gotta be embarrassed.
The majority of primates are heterosexual, just like the majority of humans are heterosexual. That's the first obstacle. And bonobos are only a small segment of the primate population, just like the LGBTQIA plus community are only a small segment of the overall human population. And I'm saying this very respectfully, and that is the next obstacle. Although it is true that humans share over 90% of our DNA with primates such as bonobos, our teeth are different. Why is it important? Well, it means everything. The dietary needs of every species determine their habitat so that they can survive. This is why we humans are living in homes with air conditioning and furnaces with Wi-Fi, and we don't have fur on our bodies. At least most of us don't have a lot of hair on our bodies. And we're not in a patch of land in the dense forests of the Congo. So yes, fundamentally, by observing bonobos, there is concrete evidence of the existence of lesbian-like behavior in the wild, which dispels the notion that people who are in the LGBTQIA plus community are just choosing or volunteering to live a lifestyle that has so much stigma attached to it. A lot of them who are out of the closet will say that they were born like this. Well, the goal by observing the intimate interactions between the female bonobos would have been to comprehend why they do so. It was never intended to be used by someone as a way to expand their dating pool while breaking individuals down into conformity by using the Ash effect. And for those who are not familiar with the Ash effect or the Ash line test, I did a video about it, so feel free to watch it after this one. There was so much that I wanted to say about this, but I decided to keep this video brief, so I will conclude it by saying this. There is no agenda. There's just a person who borrowed a concept, misused it, and it backfired. And I will conclude by using the inanimate object in my avatar. The reason why I use the moon as an avatar summarizes why I do content in the first place. The moon appears and disappears at intervals from someone who is standing on Earth. One night, you see the full moon. The next night, or several nights later, there's no moon in the sky, so it appears. And the question is, why do you see it and sometimes you don't? Well, the truth can behave the same way as the moon. Sometimes it's on full display for all to see. Other times, it appears as if it's not there. But it is there. You're just unable to see it at the moment. On this channel, my goal has been to aid you in experiencing the truth that you may not see at the moment. And the only incentive in me doing so is because I genuinely enjoy watching others grow. I'm already married, so I don't need to increase my dating pool. Nor do I need you to move to a community in another state or country and isolate you in order to show you that truth. I am Angie the ENTJ, not Jim Jones. As a matter of fact, I don't need you to agree with me. Go ahead. I welcome you to even challenge me. I enjoy individuality and nuance. You know who does not? Dictators like Hitler. So that's all I have to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so that you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Take care until next time.